All right, welcome back. Welcome back. We are griping about managing expectations. I think that's the simplest way to put it. You showed up today. You said, I'm grumpy.
No,
And I said, why are you
grumpy.
grumpy? He says, because people aren't paying bills. And I said, well, you know what? I'm grumpy too. People aren't paying bills either.
No.
And here's the bottom line. I shouldn't have to pay my bills with my money. I built assets, so I pay my bills with your money.
Yes.
Right? Now, if you're not smart
Welcome
enough...
to America. That's how it's supposed to work,
Well, here's
folks.
the thing. If you're not smart enough to build assets, then you're going to have to work for your money. I shouldn't have to work for my money.
Nobody
I do
should.
not trade time for money because when I run out of time, I run out of money.
Yep.
But I will never run out of assets. I will never run out of value. I'll never run out of ideas. I am valuable.
Yes.
And that's why people use my services. That's why people come to me. That's why I have more referral business than anything.
That's why I do the explanation of creating generational wealth. Don't buy a liability, buy an asset. If you got a liability, either figure out how to turn it
All right,
into an
let's-
asset or get rid of it.
So let's talk about real quick what an asset and what a liability is. An asset
Yes,
is simply
please.
something that puts money into your pocket month over month over month without you having to work for it. Your home that you live in is not an asset. I don't care what anybody says. You have to put money into it each month to make that mortgage payment. You have to pay your property taxes, and it's not generating any kind of monthly residual income. It is a liability. Your car is a liability, your boat is a liability, your kids are a liability, your toilet paper is a liability. An asset is something that creates money month over month over month. Rental properties, we sell
A
airtime.
successful businesses,
This
radio show.
right? Things that increase in value that are generating revenue. Your
Yes.
baseball cards are not an asset until you sell them. Your
That's
autographed...
to me, that's speculation. You hope it's going to go up, but if they do something stupid, that card could be useless because
Correct.
that guy said something and now everybody hates him.
Exactly, Canseco's, right?
Yeah.
I think his
We have-
signature is worth. I think something is worth less after he signs it.
They
All
have
right.
burning parties.
So let's get into the question here now.
Okay.
How do realtors manage buyer and seller expectations? Explain this to me.
Depending on which client they're going to. If you're going to a seller, here's what I tell real estate agents to do. Sit down, shut up, and listen. Ask the guy a couple of questions. Why do they want to sell their house? What's going on in their life? Be prepared when you show up. Pull a prelim. Have your title company do it for you so you know you're not getting surprises. And this guy that you're going to see is not getting surprises. You'd be amazed at how many clients have bought something and missed a tax payment, forgot about a second that was supposed to be quiet, or
Yep.
got into some program, and they didn't have to make a payment as long as they kept the house for X number of years, and X number of years hasn't happened. So then you find out what they want. And typically I hear this all the time. Well, the seller's always complaining about we get a 5% commission.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them you only get half that, and then ask them this. How much is 2.5% of $1 million? 25,000.
250,000.
25,000.
No, the reason why I say that is that people don't know
That's
math.
it.
They
That's
don't
it.
know math.
So when you tell
I
them,
had somebody once, no joke, they were trying to collect 100 pennies or a million pennies
Yeah.
for a charity.
okay,
And he goes, man, $100,000. Wow. And I'm like, what school did you go to?
you need to work for me. I will pay you 1 million pennies.
I know, right?
That's
Oh, my
sad.
goodness gracious. I don't know what's going on with this.
But when you look at somebody, I look at a seller and they start that argument about, well, can you cut your commission, this, that, and the other? And I look at them and go, okay, I'm only going to get 2.5% of this 5%. That's before taxes, before my broker, before marketing costs, before everything. But let me spin that around. How many times would you give me $25,000 after I give you $1 million?
That's a pretty low return in my book, dude.
For me, yeah.
That's a pretty low return in my book.
That's an incredibly low return, but the reality of it is, if I sell their house and they net $1 million and I'm only getting $25,000, I work my ass. Sorry, folks, I work my butt off for not a lot of gross income.
Here's what I see.
So cutting that commission and all that garbage,
people
forget
don't
that.
understand. I think people,
they don't see the value.
I don't think people know what value actually is.
I agree.
I see people. They get up early in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. They commute an hour to work.
Good Lord.
They go to work.
Yeah.
They commute an hour home. They overpaid on their home.
Yep.
They overpay for their cable. They eat out. They drive fancy cars. But let me back this up.
Yeah.
They don't own their home.
No.
Because they're making payments on it, so they don't own it. The bank owns it.
No, it's a
they
liability.
They don't own their car because it's a lease.
It's a liability.
Okay. They work their friggin' tail off so they can make $45,000, $50,000 a year. I don't care what anybody says. If you're bringing home $1,500 every 2 weeks, you're being ripped off. You do not know what you're worth.
Yeah.
Do not ever, ever come to me and give me advice. Advice on, seriously, if you're not making more than $15,000, $20,000 a month, do not give me any advice, ever. Because you do not even understand how valuable you are. The bottom line is this. You're being ripped off. You don't understand your worth. That is reflected upon how you live, how you carry yourself. And honestly, it's an embarrassment. You know everything that's going on Game of Thrones. You know everything that's going on every single TV show.
Kardashians.
The Kardashians, all the nonsense.
Bachelorette.
Yes,
all that stupid stuff you waste your life on.
But what you're wasting, actually, is
your time.
And you're running out of it. And at the end of the day, people say that Donald Trump is an idiot. Yeah, you know what? He was smart enough to figure out where the rest of those commas and zeros go.
Yeah.
Because you don't know where those commas and zeros go. The only thing that you know is where that decimal point is. Yep. And that decimal point is a lot closer to the 1 on your statement than it is on the 1 on his statement.
Yep.
So who's the bigger idiot?
Yeah, I like Trump is fine. I understand the real estate thing. But there are other people, like you watch Shark Tank. I watched it half a dozen times. See what you could learn from these guys. And everybody hates Mr. Wonderful, but straight up, the guy makes freaking money. Started in his basement, created $1 billion business.
Money.
Yes.
And I think someday Mark Cuban's going to end up running for president.
I'm not sure he wouldn't, but I think right now he has more sense than to jump on that political bus.
It's not a matter of jumping on a political bus. It's about protecting our nation.
Yeah.
And we need business people in there. And you can see what Trump is doing. You can see what Trump is doing.
I can see what he's trying to do.
He's getting there, dude. Look at our stock market. Look at where everything is at. The economy's still shaky, but the gap between the haves and have-nots is wider. Okay?
Yep.
Well, then learn how to be a have. Okay?
Learn how to be.
It's just information, and we're giving you the information for free right now, and you're listening to us like we're running our mouths. You know what? I'll probably close $5,000 today. Today, I'll make $5,000.
Put that coffee down.
But here's the thing, though. I get on Craigslist the other day, and my old Porsche from like 10 years ago is some guy selling my old Porsche. It's got like 200,000 miles on it. And I'm like, I could buy that. I might just buy it and just put it in the garage and work on it, fiddle with it. Here's the whole thing. Yeah. I can do that.
That's it.
The audience that's listening can't.
It's a choice. I mean, it really boils down to what are you going to choose to do? Everybody's got the same 160 hours in a week? Where are you going to spend it? So, here's a suggestion. You can download the stuff from the show
for free.
You can listen to it on your lunch break in that hour, commute back and forth, and at some point in time, reach out and go, hey, how do I acquire an asset in my area? What's the way I can make this happen?
Do you want to be chasing your tail for the rest of your life? Because I can tell you right now, if you are going to a 9 to 5 or an 8 to 4 or whatever you're doing.
Yeah, midnight to
2 a.m.
Yeah, midnight to 9 in the morning.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping. The end of the day, you're doomed. You really need to sit down and think about the big picture here. You really do. We're going to go to a break. We're going to come back and give you a little bit more info.